Dun dun dun. What is going on? Something strange.
Hello.
Something looks different. So what's going on over there?
Ryan and I decided to switch places.
Oh wow. Look at that epic reveal. There was someone underneath that helmet.
The whole time.
Unlike that one game where if you look at the guy taking off his helmet, there's just another helmet underneath.
They did show part of his face at one point.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Halo 4.
Hmm.
Sorry to burst the bubble.
Ah.
They showed like this area.
Fun. Okay.
Alright, sorry. I'm still getting my phone arranged.
Well, I suppose I should turn on our stream on my phone just to double check that it's sounding okay.
Looks to be doing good.
I mean, it looks fine from what I can see.
Alright.
Let's
Hello.
see. Morachip.
And hello.
Oh, look
Am
at
I
that.
gonna
we're
feel
live.
like Nick Fury by the end of this? Lots of turning. That's an Avengers.
You might.
reference.
You might.
Hee hee hee. Now, some of you might notice some interesting techniques being used in today's episode of NRC. Very special multi-cam setup. We'll never see it before and probably never see it again.
Yeah, this is a lot of work, a lot of extra monkeying to get this to kind of work. And our audio, I think, is kind of suffering as a result, which is...
Unfortunate.
There is can you guys hear a slight buzzing?
It's in and
occasion,
out.
Yeah. It's
Hmm.
coming in, coming out.
I'm not sure why that is.
I blame...
Technology?
Sure.
How's it sounding on the lives on the
Well,
on the
that's what he
YouTube?
he
It
pulled
sounds
up on his
fine.
phone,
It
so.
sounds fine, I think, on the feed. There's just, you can hear the slightest of the buzzing noise, and I'm not sure if that's because... I'm not sure why.
Hmm.
Alas, this ship, whom I love, like
Like a woman.
Is
a
disabled.
woman, is disabled.
Yes. Fascinating.
That's- Yes. So we're not talking about that episode of Futurama.
No.
Not
No,
today.
I don't think we ever will. It's too good. We can't touch
Hmm.
it.
Yes. However, I have completed the original pilot from this Firefly show thing,
Yes.
and I even watched the next episode.
Right.
So I'm making some traction. Not many more episodes to go.
No. Curtis, you have completed 1/7 of the entire show.
Oh, it's so sad.
What a depressing thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait a second. Let's go back. It's been like maybe a week since I watched the end of the Serenity pilot.
Okay.
So what the heck was going on?
I don't know where we left off. We probably should have reviewed what we had
Yeah,
filmed
probably.
2 weeks ago.
Um,
Alas.
I think we were at. Well,
Oh, people,
we could go
they
off
were
of-
boarding the ship to go away.
could
to go on the
be.
trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Shepard Book was on, and he talked about Kaylee eating the strawberry.
right, the strawberry.
The
Yes, that's where we
strawberry
ended.
was
Yeah.
Pretty much where we ended.
Yeah, so the strawberry, she's happy. She's enjoying the strawberry.
It's great strawberry.
Then what, they have dinner or something? Is that what's going on?
Communal
is there a shipwide dinner?
Yeah, sure.
And they're discussing things?
They're discussing the hazards of the verse,
Yes.
sort of what goes on. There's some tension. Malcolm Reynolds has lost his faith. Mind if I say grace? Only if you say it aloud.
Right, yes.
There's
Sir Nathan Fillion is
Sir Nathan Fillion.
He'll never. It'd be cool if he became a sir.
I think
I don't
that's
think it'll
really hard
happen.
for non-English people to do, and even English people. Ain't a thing
Yeah.
that happens much these days.
Unless
But,
you're Patrick Stewart.
You can buy a night dome pretty easily online.
mhm.
Not sure how much it's actually worth in the real world, but it can be done.
But yeah.
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 They
There's
eat dinner,
there eat
and
dinner, yeah.
I don't know what the heck even happens next.
Well, Kaylee's being all warm and fuzzy with Simon, and I think Jane makes a rather crude joke about the whole situation.
As he usually
As
does.
he does. Yeah, it's Jane Cobb. Jane Cobb. Curtis hasn't seen his awesome hat yet. That'll happen. We'll get there.
Nope. Yeah, have not.
It's a great hat.
Is it?
Yes. Yes, it
Hmm.
is. Ryan, your thoughts on the hat?
It's a good hat.
That's a good thought.
But yeah, so Malcolm Reynolds makes the comment, "I don't pay you to talk," and then he makes him leave the table. He grabs a big hunk of food and walks away. What do you pay him for? What? What's his job on this ship? Public relations.
Yes. Classic.
Yes.
So then they're...
They end up going. Did we go to Whitefall already?
Yeah, 'cause that's where they pick up Book,
Yes.
what's his name, and the other what's its name.
Yeah. Okay.
Simon, and then what's his name?
I have it right here.
Oh, look at you with your cheats.
Yep. Gotta have the cheats.
His notes.
His name is Dobson.
Dobson. Yeah.
Dobson.
Very important guy.
Mm-hmm.
But then they talk to what's her name to sell the imprinted goods.
Mhm.
What's her name? I don't remember. I do believe she's planning on shooting you again. Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right. Yeah. The recurring joke.
Yes, the recurring
Yes.
joke. But then they know that there's a transmission that got sent out to the Alliance. It was like,
But they
there's
cut it off.
Yeah, there's a mole on the ship. Okay, probably Simon goes down, finds him in the cargo hold, unescorted, which was against the rules.
Ah yes.
Punches him in the face. I'm sorry, Captain, you've got the wrong man. It's Dobson. Dobson's the mole. Oh, who could have seen this one coming?
Yep. Sneaky, sneaky.
Sneaky,
Dun, dun,
sneaky.
dun.
So Dobson's got a gun on him. There's a tense situation. He
All
gets
right.
surprised. He turns around, shoots Kaylee in the stomach.
Right. I forgot about all of this stuff.
Dobson gets taken out, tied up.
But yeah, and the
Then an Alliance ship shows up or something. And
no, it doesn't. Well, it doesn't. Don't the reefers or the reapers or whatever?
Reavers,
Yeah, reavers.
they show up
don't-
at the end, I thought.
Well, but there's a flyby at
Oh,
first.
yeah. They're
And they're all like
very tense.
trying to be very
Yes.
silent. Let them fly by.
Yeah.
I'm probably ahead.
It's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
There was an Alliance ship, though, and Simon gives the ultimatum, turn and run, or I'm going to let Kaylee die.
Ah, yes, right.
So they fly away, as they tend to do.
Oh, and then they open the crate and they find
Yes.
mysterious young woman inside.
Summer
Dun,
Glau.
dun, dun.
Doing what she does best, playing a teenager.
Right. River Tam.
River Tam. Very important person.
So we get some exposition about.
Yes, what the Alliance did to
River Tam.
River, what she's been through,
Right.
blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Captain Exposition.
But very
Mhm.
confusing exposition.
Very confusing exposition. Slightly contradictory to what comes up in later lore, but it's not entirely important, but
Oh yeah.
well, the movie kind of retcons some stuff, and then comics and books further retcon some stuff. But it's not that terrible retconning, but there's some minor things that get mushed around depending on how you're looking at it.
Yeah.
From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view.
Hmm.
And it
That's
depends
interesting.
on what time the things were made, because
Serenity's pretty good.
it is. I'm talking more about expanded universe stuff,
Comics and the books.
comics and books, because part of the comics were owned by Dark Horse Comics, and they went with a direction, and then I guess the rights got sold to Boom. And they have gone a different direction than what the original comics were, and they don't line up with some of the things that are in the novels. So I'm not sure.
Anyways, not important.
No.
Very good.
There's the very cruel joke played on Simon, where Malcolm Reynolds is like, Kaylee's dead, and then walks away.
Oh yes.
You should have seen his face. It was priceless.
Are you insane or whatever? Yeah. They did kind of set that whole thing up because you saw her hand go limp, and you're like, oh no,
no.
did they kill a main character in the pilot?
That would have been good. But alas, no. So yeah,
wow.
then they get to the other planet.
I think
We're kind of skimming.
We're
this.
skipping ahead. Dobson gets interrogated by
yes.
Jane. And then
I forgot all about that.
Dobson offers him money to buy his own ship. And they leave it on a cliffhanger, like, will he turn against him?
And then we cut away to the next adventure.
Curtis.
To the Reaver ship approaching.
That's
Reaver ship approaching.
Curtis says you watch the series, you will notice a theme with Jane and money.
Does he get offered lots of money?
On occasion.
On occasion.
Because at the end, they, like, Nathan Fillion asks him, and what? Jane's like, well, it wasn't enough or
Yeah,
something.
they didn't offer me enough money.
Essentially. Yeah.
Which is a theme revisited in one of the comics. Whether or not he was just in it for the money or not. If he had some kind of loyalty to the crew. But that's for a later day.
Right.
Yeah. So then they do get to wherever.
Whitefall?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then what was the planet that they picked up the crew on? Because we said that was Whitefall. Not important.
Persephone? Persephone?
Okay.
I don't know how to say that.
Probably
Okay,
Persephone.
so yeah, they get to Whitefall.
They like to name a lot of things after, like, Greek myths.
Yeah, that's because lots of the Greek people came up with names for the stars of stuff. So
Okay.
there's, Orion's belt.
I would have thought that they were going to name
Hades
things more
count.
like Chinese stuff, because there's a whole thing about how the
Right. The
China took over most of the old Earth or something.
Sort of, kind of, and then they had to leave, and it was basically just the U.S. and China who led the evacuation efforts or something like that.
Something.
Those were the
Interesting.
two dominating cultures, and that's why they swear in Chinese, not because of the, censors for cable
right.
television, network television. Definitely not that.
No.
Anyways,
Story.
Plot. Reasons. They get to Whitefall, and they're planning out what to do. How they're gonna ambush the ambushers. He's like, Malcolm Reynolds like, she's gonna have a couple of snipers up on that ridge. Jane, go get them.
Right. Good call.
Good call.
Smart.
Yeah. Malcolm Reynolds knows a thing or two.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're at the meeting, gives them sample of the goods, waiting for the money. Well, there's your money. All right, waiting for you guys to ride off. I don't part with any coin I don't have to. Well then, in this situation, nice hat. Boom. There goes his hat.
Yes. And then things begin to develop.
Yes. Zoe gets shot.
I did think that they had a rather alarming lack of cover when that whole thing broke out.
Well,
Just kind of like standing there and dodging bullets.
well, they blew their budget on the opening sequence.
Ah, right. Yes.
And I think there was also the whole thing with what's his name, Joss Whedon wanting to make this a space western with emphasis on the western. So
Yeah.
let's be out in the big open field and like a standoff situation.
They even got horses.
Yeah.
Yes, there were definitely horses.
Mm-hmm. And at some point it cuts back to interior Serenity. Wash is talking to, I think, Simon? Is that it?
It could be.
Dodson has a knife. He's cutting himself out. And you wonder, did Jane give him the knife?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Right.
Right. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways.
Yeah, at some point they find out the Reavers have turned around and are following them to Whitefall.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But they defeated what's-her-name. Shot her horse so it fell on her.
Classic.
I do the job, and then I get paid. Grabs
Yes.
the money and walks away.
Yes.
And then, yes, they've got to race back to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now this is kind of the dated sequence of CGI, watching the two
Ooh,
ships
yeah.
fly around like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice that there's HD Blu-ray of it all, but yeah, they I think they neglected to, remaster those effects.
Oh, definitely.
Unlike Star Trek: The Motion Picture, which is getting a 4K remaster of the director's cut.
K's. That's 4 times the K.
Yeah. Except I won't even get it on 4K when it hopefully finally one day comes out on Blu-ray.
I'm just waiting for DS9 in HD. Apparently it's happening.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Yay.
They must be making enough residual money off of
Paramount Plus.
yeah, and Star Trek what's the Lower Decks. I bought that on DVD.
Why?
It's very funny.
Oh,
It's so funny.
How funny
You
was
would-
it, Curtis, on a scale from 1 to 10?
End of episode 2 or maybe episode 3, they like have this thing happen. A rule is named after the main character, and he's like, no one will even remember it in the future. And then they fast forward to the 29th century or something, and they're like, and this rule was instituted by this one. And then they go, but now let's turn to the most important figure in Starfleet history, Miles O'Brien.
I mean, it's true, he is.
I think you'd enjoy it. There are so many like little references and jokes.
I mean,
Do you
pretty
think
funny.
that the success of the What We Left Behind documentary had anything to do with DS9?
to a degree, yes, because I
Yeah.
think that proved that there is this love and passion for Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still,
And maybe those writers, once they, had gotten together for the taping, they're like, yeah, maybe let's send a joint letter to
I would hope
the
so.
higher ups.
I would hope so. Yeah. I don't know. But the most important rule of Star Trek, any Star Trek, is, of course, O'Brien must suffer.
Oh, the poor guy.
Yeah.
But back to Firefly.
Yeah.
They,
Different space show.
They race back to the ship. They get on board.
Oh, don't forget they had
Well,
to
Dodson broke loose, and he's he's got a gun on someone, and Malcolm Reynolds walks in and just shoots him.
Oh yeah.
And they have to
Yep.
do the crazy maneuver, the crazy Ivan.
The crazy Ivan. You ever pulled an
Ah.
Ivan? Poetic that I have the helmet.
Yeah.
There's a Firefly reference. There are multiple Firefly references in Mass Effect, but Mass Effect 2, you've got Seth Green.
Yeah,
Is he
Seth Green.
voices Joker, the pilot of your ship, and he's like, sometimes I just like to reverse the inverters and pull a crazy Ivan or whatever they say in Firefly. So it's just like, hey.
Now is that a conversation piece, or is that like a?
No, that's one of you hit the shutters on the bridge and
Okay.
he'll say some random stuff.
Yeah. The program dialogue. That's
Yeah.
it. Well, I suppose all of the dialogue is programmed, but that's like a
Right.
whatever. But yeah, shoots him.
Shoots him dead. I mean, we were already kind of talking about the dated space chase, but yeah, they pulled a crazy Ivan and then
Then they just throw him
they
over the.
toss him out the edge.
Yeah.
So
Bye.
it's great because you see Nathan Fillion kind of like running back to get through the doors. They didn't tell him what the timing was on that, so that's actually him just trying to make it back through the doorway before it
Oh,
shuts
nice.
on him.
It's so nice. There's a funny interview online where Tom Cruise is explaining one of his stunts, and the explosives guy was a little ambiguous on when he was going to detonate the charge. So Tom Cruise is like, "Wait, are you doing 3, 2, 1, then explode, or are you exploding on 1, or how is this going to work?" You'd have to watch it.
Oh my
It's
god.
a good little bit.
It's just Tom Cruise behind the scenes for any movie. It's always entertaining.
Gotta be.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Then
yes.
he talks. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say, then he talks at some point about when he trained his body to not have to take a breath for like 6 minutes or something.
Oh, right, for that crazy...
The underwater
that was,
sequence.
Was that 5?
It's either 4 or 5.
Well, 4 is the one with Jeremy Renner, and I didn't think the breath-holding sequence was in the Jeremy Renner movie. Because that was, oh, look, he's climbing up the side of a building.
Right.
I think
yeah,
it
must
was.
be 5.
Yeah, I think it was because they go into that whatever pool of water.
Yeah.
Right.
to
To
get
get the
To get the
hard
thing.
drive or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. But then in that interview, he's saying, "Yeah, and then I had to physically force myself to breathe because I wouldn't breathe for a couple of minutes." He's so, like, I don't know.
So insane.
Yeah.
Scientology.
I think the worst part about that is that they cut so much during that sequence, so you don't actually see him holding his breath for this ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, maybe. I have to rewatch the Mission Impossibles.
I think
In
I gave them to you
anticipation.
in Blu-ray
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
for his birthday.
Yes.
So nice. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so they escape.
Right, they
Yep.
pull the crazy Ivan, they go full burn, burns up the Reavers in the atmosphere or something, then they fly away off to their next adventure, and that's kind of the end of the episode.
Oh, then Mal's like, "Hey, you want to be my doctor, Simon?"
Oh, right, yeah. It's like,
And Simon's like, "Okay."
sure. There is, being a crazy Firefly fan like I am, I've watched all the episodes many, many times. There's only 14. It's not that hard to do. And I've watched them with their audio commentaries. There's a bit at the end, right when they've escaped the Reavers, and Wash, Alan Tudyk, he's leaning back in his chair, and he's still got his hand.
Is this the one where his chair disconnects?
No.
Or his steering wheel?
The steering wheel, for the camera angle that they wanted to do with him as far back in the set as he was, the steering wheel didn't come to where his hand is.
I know
So
this
if you're
one.
watching it,
I
his
know.
hand is just miming. There's no
Oh, there's
the
no
controls.
steering wheel?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just back there, and then the controls are
way up in front. So it's just like, oh, yep. If you're paying attention. So
It's interesting. Oh my.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's episode 1. Curtis, your thoughts being the Firefly nub.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I wish they could have upgraded some of the effects, but limited studio budgets and things, whatever.
Right. It's a cult thing at this point. They're not going to spend all that much money to redo 14 episodes.
Until the reboot happens with Nathan Fillion just continuing on.
I hope it happens because that would be fun.
I do honestly think that if they did a real reboot, like where they started over, he'd probably he seemed kind of young maybe for the role.
Sure.
When they did this in 2002 or whatever. So if they started it off right now, he'd be like the grizzled
veteran
cowboy
from the war.
Yeah, exactly. So they could, do whatever they want.
They could do whatever they want.
Except don't ruin it.
Don't ruin it. Don't recast Malcolm Reynolds. It's Nathan Fillion or nothing.
Yeah.
Also bring back Ron Glass. He was really good.
Yeah.
And how about the rest of the cast too?
Yeah.
Summer Glau could still be playing her favorite role, a teenager. I swear to God, every role she gets, it's like, oh yeah, she's definitely a teenager. It's like, okay, interesting.
Well, wait. So, since Firefly, I don't even know what she's done. She was in the Terminator thing, right?
Right, that got 2 seasons.
Yeah.
The Dollhouse show?
Yep. Didn't she appear in Angel?
She might have.
Probably did. I know she showed up and guest starred in Big Bang Theory, guest starred in Castle.
She was in Arrow.
Okay.
The 4400, The Cape, Mammoth.
The Cape! 6 seasons of the movie! That's where that came from. Because Abed was obsessed with The Cape. It's going to get 6 seasons in a movie.
She's been in all sorts of stuff that I haven't heard of. She's in CSI.
Oh boy. Just because you make things bigger doesn't mean it gets clearer.
Justin Bieber was in
That's
CSI,
CSI
so
Miami.
I don't know.
Enhance. I think the entire Enhance thing though really came from, well, I guess I don't really know the history of it, but Blade Runner, the original.
Oh yeah.
There's that whole sequence where he's like zoom in on section whatever,
Enhance.
and he just keeps zooming in and it's zooming in. It's like, whoa.
It does on CSI Miami. Zap Berenigan.
Oh my.
But yeah, I agree entirely with Curtis that this is a better pilot than pilot number 2.
Yeah, pilot number 2 is... It doesn't feel like a pilot. It just feels like a continuation or whatever.
Right. It's almost like they filmed the pilot, filmed the second episode, then we're told, no, the pilot's not going to air. Rework the second episode as best you can. Okay. That's where we'll talk about it probably next week. The bar fight at the beginning is basically their attempt to work exposition into the episode as much as possible.
Squeeze a bunch in there and then... Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Cool.
So, Ryan, how did operating the multi-camera device thing go? Going okay?
It's good.
Good. Nice. Good. In case our viewers are curious, all of our many viewers, Ryan is going to be assisting with a wedding live stream this weekend.
I think I mentioned that at the beginning.
Right.
It's possible.
But in case you didn't hear the intro and you're just tuning in right now.
Right now. Yes.
Wow.
They're
Right now.
And realistically, I don't know how many cameras will be hooked up. It'll probably be 4. I don't know if we'll be able to do many more because I'm sure the the pastor or whoever doesn't want cables running throughout the church. So the whole thing will probably just be set up on the balcony at the back.
All right.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! We didn't do NRC Talks NFL.
Oh, that's true. Well, we still can.
We still can.
Here we go. Hello. So yeah, the Packers won. That was cool.
That was very cool.
Let's see.
Surprising no one, the Lions lost.
Randall Cobb had a couple of catches. That was great. Great to see.
Hey.
Still not sure about that offensive line the Packers have got going on.
They're very young.
Yep.
And I think Aaron's getting a feel for when he needs to bail still.
Yeah. What else? Jared Goff. Did you guys watch a lot of the Peyton Manning, Eli Manning thing?
I only watched the Pat McAfee stuff, to be honest with you.
Well, at the beginning, or at some point, Jared Goff ran, and they were like, Peyton, can you run as fast as Jared Goff? He's like, I haven't run a 40 since 1992. Like, oh, jeez. He said at the NFL Combine he didn't run the 40 because he didn't want his draft grade to go any lower. So,
Yeah. Nice.
Jeez.
Yep. Yeah, so then San Francisco coming up Sunday night.
Yeah, we're not going to win.
You never know.
It's true, you never know, but Curtis, we don't play well in California in general, and we don't play well against San Francisco. They match up well against us.
I think they won against San Francisco in overtime in 1999. Maybe.
22 years.
Yeah, that was the Ray Rhodes season. We were just talking about Ray Rhodes.
Ray Rhodes. Trying to remember him.
I don't remember him, so.
He was only there the one season. They went 8-8.
And I was 2 in 1999.
Right. Yeah, I think the feeling and consensus was that he still had a great deal of the roster from the Super Bowl teams, and they weren't able to even make the playoffs, so he was out. Bye-bye.
Fair enough.
So this is post-Holmgren.
Yeah, this is the first year after Mike Holmgren left. Ray Rhodes was some kind of assistant coach.
Okay.
They put him in, and then they said, nope.
And then they had that other guy.
Mike Sherman.
He had glasses.
Yep, Mike Sherman was there for a while, and then Mike McCarthy, and then...
Oh, my God, Mike McCarthy.
I mean, he started out okay.
Did you guys watch the Hard Knocks by any chance with the Cowboys?
I have not.
Mike McCarthy gets pretty fired up.
I bet.
Oh, boy. How are the Cowboys doing?
Not so good.
Yeah.
They're 1-1, like the
Okay.
Packers.
Like the Pack. Well,
Their kicker had a
we didn't show up to week 1. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Right. Their kicker had a 56-yard field goal to end the game, to win the game.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Better than the Vikings. Oh.
Ooh. Yeah.
Wide
I know
left.
a couple of...
Was it wide right?
It was wide right.
It was one of those two.
Yeah. It was left from the camera position,
That's
but
what I'm
right
probably
from the
thinking
field position.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But hey, it's kind of fun to watch Kyler Murray. He seems like such an energetic fellow. It's fun watching him win.
Yeah, the end. Oh, the Cowboys game was the game with Jim Nantz and Tony Romo doing play-by-play and color commentary. And at the end, Tony Romo was like, "So Jim, what's your prediction? Is he going to make the field goal?" And Jim Nantz was saying like, "Yeah, he could probably make it." Tony was like, "Jim, that's not an answer. You got to say whether or not he's going to make it." So Jim's like, "Yeah, he'll make it." Then he made it.
He'll probably make it. That's not an answer.
Poor Jim getting pressured into
Bull
predicting
rushed in
things.
his own.
Yeah.
Tony Romo.
Oh God.
Jim.
Yeah.
He always gets so excited over things. So.
How about that touchdown pass to Tunyon?
That was
Very
had
impressive.
Brett Favre thrown that, it would probably have been intercepted.
Oh, I
somehow.
thought. Well, the linebacker had his head to him. I figured it would have given the linebacker a concussion.
I think that was
Right in the head.
Yeah.
That's what I caught with the Mannings and Brett Favre.
And Burt.
Because what did they say? It was like, Aaron threw that ball so hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Robert. The ball caught Robert. He didn't catch that ball. Which that reminded me of a CFL game that I watched. I think it was like the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The quarterback, he threw the ball, and the receiver, he wasn't even looking, and the ball just got stuck right in his armpit, and he walked it in for a touchdown. So it was a no-look catch for a touchdown.
That's incredible.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
People are crapping on Kevin King, as is tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he
who
made-
else? The new cornerback. Somebody was criticizing him. Yeah, at the beginning of the game, they were like, "Why do we waste a draft pick on him?" And then he had some
3
good
plays, yeah.
Yeah, he had some good defense later on. So yeah.
Oh well. We still have Gerard Alexander, the best cornerback in the league. I dare say, he's really good.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. They're fine.
Hopefully, our pass rush can improve.
Yeah, we don't really have.
A pass rush.
Yeah.
Goff had a lot of time in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, part of it is Zadarius Smith being.
Right, but you can't blame the
Oh,
whole of that on one guy.
Right. No, I know. Yeah, you don't have like a. I don't know.
A rookie Clay Matthews.
Right, or an Aaron Donald who
Yeah.
just.
People who just
So quick.
obliterated.
Yeah. What you gonna do? They do have Tyler Lancaster.
That's true.
And he's pretty nice. From the couple of interactions I've had with him.
Oh, that's good to hear. I need to watch the end of the Aaron Rodgers Tuesday with Pat McAfee. I need to know
Oh.
what book they talked about. Aaron Rodgers
Oh,
started
right.
a book club on
Yes,
Pat
I heard
McAfee's
they
show.
have shirts, don't they?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
It's very entertaining. Pat McAfee is entertaining on his own. He gets Aaron Rodgers every Tuesday. It's worth watching.
They talked about that on the Manning
Yeah.
thing. They asked him, how'd you get Aaron Rodgers to be like exclusively on your show? And he said, yeah, we met at the Pro Football Hall of Fame game.
that got canceled.
Yeah, I was at that game. And, I don't know, that's a weird place to meet someone, and, oh,
Hit it off.
yep.
Yeah.
That's where I held the door for Randy Moss.
Hey.
It's random. It's like, oh, I'll go in the store, and then he walked right out. It's like, oh,
Hi, Randy
Okay.
Moss.
Yeah.
Bye, Randy Moss.
see ya. I think it was
nice
Randy
not
Moss
meeting
and
you.
yeah, and I don't know if Chris Carter was there, the former Vikings. I forget who it was, but Randy Moss for sure. That was neat.
All right. This has been NRC Talks NFL, and
Oh yes.
which followed the Serenity segment.
Yep.
It has been a fun time. Next week we will be back, possibly with the train job, or maybe something else, depending on
Mhm.
where things go. And another NRC Talks NFL update,
Yes.
our first catch of the day. Thank you
Cool.
for joining us. If you like this content, hit a like on it. Maybe subscribe. Or do something else. It's up to you.
if you appreciate the production value of this episode,
Don't get used to it.
Don't expect it ever again.
I will forget this by next week.